Hi, everybody. I wanted to run this a couple days ago during the Dallas sniper protest, or the protest in Dallas that, oddly enough, came under sniper fire. But unfortunately, as you know, basement flooded. My laptop was no good. Anyway, so I'm running it now. And this just shows that the Dallas protest sniper event was another planned event in the World COG, on the world stage of the bankers trying to bring down police worldwide. And basically, in the same couple of days, in Germany, 120 police officers, Polizei, I believe that's how you pronounce it, police, were injured in Germany in a very similar event, except for they didn't have a sniper. But America is trying to push the anti-guns and anti-violence using guns and everything, so they use snipers. Where in Germany, I think it was a riot. They got out of control and they just basically used broad numbers. And anyways, 120 officers ended up injured in Germany. So I wanted to bring this to you because I thought it was very important that you see that how much this is just the world stage being lied to us and everything else. Oddly enough, look at that. I'm with her. No, I'm not. More than 120 German police officers injured in Berlin riots. Police say more than 120 officers were injured and 86 demonstrators were detained during a leftist riot in Germany's capital, which police call the most aggressive and violent protests in the last 5 years. Oddly enough, that is almost exactly what the situation in Dallas was. The most aggressive and violent protest in the last 5 years, except for there was no aggression from the protesters, but there was a sniper who was unfortunately picking off officers, which I still don't think the guy's dead, etc. But I'll go with the media version just for the hell of it. And this is what I wanted to show you here. Berlin police said in a statement last Sunday, or 2 days ago rather, that protesters threw bottles, cobblestones, used fireworks, destroyed cars, attacked officers, basically the normal protest of the Black Lives Matter people. Only one of the police officers required treatment at a hospital, so that's good that it wasn't completely bad. It wasn't immediately clear how many rioters were injured. About 3,500 protesters participated in the rally, so you figure we'll say half were at least violent. So a quarter of that, say 700 or so, were actually injured in some fashion or another, we'll say. Which started Saturday evening, lasted until early Sunday. Activists had called for demonstration to protest against the police operations at buildings taken over by squatters in the eastern part of the city last month. Around 1,800 police officers were called to monitor the protesters, or beat the shit out of them, as I would probably put it. So you figure if there are 1,800 police officers on standby, probably a good 600 or 700 took part in the protesters' beatings, and from that, probably 500 or 600 or so probably had something to do with the injuries of the protesters, which means, yeah, about that many people probably got hurt. Probably about 500 to 700 to 800, I would say. So this happened about the same time the Dallas sniper protest happened in Dallas, Texas. So, ladies and gentlemen, different world events, very similar on the world stage. Germany's not trying to protest gun control, so they didn't use a sniper. The U.S. government did, and I don't care what you say about it. I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, that person is still alive. That person is still in some protective custody or another. And whether it was CIA or some contracted group like Blackwater, etc. I know Blackwater is under a new name now. It's like they're literally under another name. That there was Blackwater, then like XE Inc. or Xeon Inc. Academy, and I think they're under something else now. So this is just to show you that the Dallas, Texas thing was completely controlled by the elites. They probably hired the sniper. So if you think it isn't planned ahead of time, folks, and ask yourself how they got like 4,000 protesters inside of 2 days to show up to an event, and then all of a sudden there happened to be a sniper. Yeah. Remember all those other protests? There weren't any snipers. There were just people throwing bottles and shit. And all of a sudden this one there had to be a step up? Yeah. Look, there's a step up in Germany too. How the world stage plays along, and everybody goes, oh, Texas and Dallas, how bad, oh. It's all planned, folks. And if you start looking at the details in between, you're just going to end up screwed. So I'm already screwed, so I really don't give a damn at this point. I've told you my stories. I told you how they took my fiance away from me. I told you how they threatened to cut off my arm. I told you all the shit, so at this point, shoot me. I mean, that's what it basically comes down to. I hold no aggression toward anyone, but I'm certainly not going to sit around waiting for a giant check to clear that nobody's issuing toward my person at this point in time, even though I've been told they owe me between 2 and 5 million if I sue everyone, yada yada yada. But I'm not going to sit around and wait 5 fucking years when they can't even bring the supposed situation that I was claimed to had this or thated to a courtroom like they're supposed to had. And when I try to find out information about it, they hide it in the courts. The locals supposedly don't have access to the records. You contact the feds don't want to do this. You tell a lawyer, and the lawyer tells you to drop it. So, and then the school kicked you out. So it's kind of like, well, what the fuck? What am I supposed to do? And now they're all basically sitting on immunity agreement saying, shh, quiet, we're listening to him. We're hoping he flips out so we can just kill his ass. So, I told you how far in I am, ladies and gentlemen. When they took my fiance from me, they told her to ditch me and everything else. That's when I basically said, that's when I basically lost my loyalty to the system. And I don't care if it's just the U.S. system or the global system. They're not going to bring down their big banks, and unless you're willing to commit, super heinous crimes to do it, you're not going to either. And honestly, the only thing that would bring it down the quickest would be to go before that Bilderberger group, fly a plane over, watch it get hit with Patriot missiles or some shit like that, go in with 20 guys and just kill them all. The Rothschilds, the this, the that, and the higher-ups, and that would probably set a precedent on the world stage. But we all know how that would end up. But you'd have to have like a cyanide pill in your mouth ready to crack open so they don't take you alive. And that would be the only time where you could literally get all those guys together. But we all know that'll never happen because those people would be arrested hours, if not days, before anything happened. So, this is what happens in the real world, folks. 120 police officers were injured in Germany. At the same time, the Dallas PD officers were targeted by sniper fire. So, this is all on the world stage, folks. It's all being controlled. Thank you.